Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm with Links and this is Links Art. Today I'm going to show you how I mix my charcoal and graphite pencils while drawing. Now if you don't know this, the combination of charcoal and graphite pencils for your drawing gives you the very best of your artwork. This is not a new thing. A lot of professional artists you know out there make use of charcoal and graphite for their drawing. There are some persons that will tell you that you can't mix your charcoal and your graphite pencil. It is completely impossible. I've been mixing my charcoal and graphite pencil for the past few years while I draw, and in this channel I have talked about mixing charcoal and graphite pencils in some of my videos. You can check this video out if you want to know some of the ways I mix my charcoal and graphite pencil. Now in this video, I'm going to be focusing on a particular system I've been using to mix my charcoal and graphite pencils over the years, which is something I have sticked with and I'm using up till now. And I'm going to be showing you and explaining the techniques on how to use your charcoal pencil and your graphite pencil while drawing, so you don't want to miss this. I'm Do Blinks and this is Links Art. Here I give you tips, tricks and techniques to get your artworks done in no time. So if you're one in the group, make sure to click the subscribe button, ring all the bells so you don't miss any of my tutorials when I release them. So without any further ado, let's dive into the topic. So now here is the first thing you want to know before we talk about the technique and how I mix my charcoal and graphite. This is what will guide you through the process. You want to have in mind that your charcoal pencil will hardly layer on your graphite pencil if your graphite creates a reflective surface. There are clearly two areas that are shaded in this paper, here and here. But funny thing, you can only see one here because your charcoal pencil do not reflect. So when tilted to any angle, it's always going to show you its values. But with your graphite pencil, you need to tilt it a little bit for you to see those values because your graphite pencil tends to reflect a lot. Now, if I should tilt this back, the light is going to bounce on those reflective areas and it's going to mirror the light back to you, preventing you from seeing those values, except you tilt the paper and reflect the light away from your eyes. And when it starts reflecting like this, you find it very hard for your charcoal pencil to layer on it because it has attained a complete smooth surface, and your charcoal pencil needs a very scratchy and a rough environment to layer on. Now, if you've been using graphite pencil for a while or for a very long time, you'd know that when you try to get very dark values with your graphite pencil, it tends to reflect a lot. Now, that is where the problem comes in. Your charcoal pencil will find it very hard to layer on this area. This is the entire problem, and this is what we are trying to solve. So now, if I try to use my charcoal pencil, as we can see here, to draw on this graphite, it will not layer. But if I try to sketch all the way down, you can see the difference between your charcoal pencil and your graphite pencil. Your graphite tends to reflect, whereas your charcoal never reflects. That is the advantage your charcoal have with regards to creating realistic artworks. You can see what we have here, but when I try to bend and tilt this, it is going to reflect. Your graphite pencil, when you try to use it to get very dark values, will prevent you from trying to get a very clear visual. So now here is a charcoal artwork I'm presently working on, which is in progress. You will never see any reflection no matter how you tilt and bend the paper. You are always going to see the dark values completely intact and you'll be able to see every single value and details. So now let's reverse the action and try to use graphite pencil to layer on charcoal. Now I'm going to be using my graphite pencil to layer on this charcoal shaded area and see what happens. Now we can see clearly that our graphite pencil are smoothly layered on our charcoal shaded area. I can still move on to continue shading and my graphite pencil will always layer on charcoal. So the problem is that your graphite pencil will always layer on charcoal, but when it comes to your charcoal pencil, layering on your graphite, it is a complete disaster. It will never layer because the surface is completely smooth. So now as we can see how reflective the graphite becomes, reflecting all through, and it completely layered on this charcoal powder we are seeing here. But over here, I tried using my charcoal pencil on this area, but it never layered. So now I would want to try to use my graphite pencil, but this time I am not going to press on the surface or create any reflection. I'm just going to shade lightly on the surface to avoid creating an intense reflection and try to use my charcoal pencil on it to see if it's going to layer. Now let's try to tilt the paper to see if it is reflective. Now, as you can see here, it does reflect a little bit, but it's not as reflective as this one we are seeing here. And let's try to use our charcoal pencil on this graphite surface and see if it's going to layer. Now, as we can see here, our charcoal pencil is layering on our graphite shaded area smoothly without having any problems. Okay, let me just shade all the way down to make things even. So guys, now this goes to tell us that when you try to use your graphite pencil to press on the paper to create any kind of reflection or any intense pressure to make the surface very smooth, your charcoal pencil will never layer on a surface like this because of the reflective nature, but it is completely going to layer on a surface that does not have intense reflection. So now the bottom line is your charcoal pencil will only layer on a graphite surface that is not completely pressed in to have intense reflection, as we can see here. So if you want to top your charcoal on your graphite, no matter how you shade, always try to shade in a way that will prevent you from creating an environment that reflects a lot. Now, it is completely pointless to use your graphite pencil to shade all the way down like this, because if you want to have this kind of value, it is best using your charcoal pencil. As you can see here, your charcoal pencil has the best of darkest values when compared to graphite, because your graphite will reflect. So it is completely pointless to use your graphite pencil to shade all the way this dark. So if you are making a portrait or drawing and you want to create a value range starting from the darkest point all the way to the lightest of value, you'd want to use your charcoal pencil first of all to create those darkest values as you want, lightly shading down to the darkest level. Then at one point in time, you can use your graphite pencil to continue all the way to your lightest of values. That is how you create your transition between your charcoal pencil and your graphite pencil. Now, at this point in time, you can use your brush to try to blend things all the way in and down to this area as well. Over here we have our graphite strokings, and here we have our charcoal, and you can easily mix your charcoal and graphite. So now mixing charcoal and graphite is completely achievable. While you use your charcoal pencil for your darkest of values, you will be using your graphite pencil for your lightest of values. This is the principle I follow when I want to mix my charcoal and graphite, and it has been working perfectly. So now as you can see here, I use my charcoal pencil to get these dark values over here, and I use my graphite pencil to get these midtones we see here all the way to the lightest of values. Here we can see I use my charcoal pencil, and down all the way I use my graphite pencil over here. So guys, now welcome back. That is basically how you go about mixing charcoal and graphite when you want to draw. As long as you don't create that reflective surface with your graphite pencil, your charcoal pencil will always layer on your paper alongside your graphite. Subsequently, as you keep using these two, technically you tend to get more understanding on how to mix your charcoal pencil and graphite pencil. That is basically the best way I've always used to create all my artworks when I mix charcoal and graphite together. Now, if you have any questions or comments with regards to all what I just said, make sure to drop a comment in the comment section and let's have a chat. With all that said, I'm doing Blinks and this is Blinks Art. Here I give you tricks, techniques to get your artworks done in no time. Make sure to watch other videos in this channel to enlighten your creative skills. Till I see you next time, I'm doing Blinks and this is Blinks Art. Keep creating.